Good afternoon once again, ladies and gentlemen. You already know who it is. It is your boy Lewis, and I am back again with another banger, with yet another video. Happy Friday to everybody. We made it to the end of the week, guys. Once again, man, you already know the simple rules, man. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to always receive the latest and greatest content as I always try to provide. I thank you guys for always taking the time to appreciate my videos, man. And always at the end of each video, make sure you like the video, make sure you share this video, man. So it'll only help the channel grow. So let's hop on to today's story. So yesterday on First Take, Will Cain, the Republican Will Cain, decided to take an Instagram post, as you can see right here, from one King James, who, as we know, is the king of social media, as we all talk about. And LeBron, if you remember, guys, as I said, like in a couple of videos ago, that LeBron has been nonchalant in terms of saying that he has no idea about being traded or being in trade situations, and talked about how the young generation is addicted to social media, when I said that LeBron is the king of social media because he goes out of his way to talk about other players in their situations when he has a tendency to not mind his own business and focus on what he needs to focus on, and that's his play and his team, which to me makes LeBron James very hypocritical. Now, Will Cain took a post from Instagram on LeBron, and before I say this, before I read it, let me just say this. Harrison Barnes, when he got traded, already knew about being traded. He already knew about it, that he was going to get traded to the Sacramento Kings. He already knew. His agent asked him if he wanted to play in that game. Harrison Barnes said yes. What LeBron does here is that if you read the post, it says right here, King James. So let me guess. This is cool because they had to do what was best for the franchise, right? Traded this man while he was literally playing in the game and he had zero idea. Let me stop you right there, LeBron. See, maybe you were misinformed, or maybe you just didn't know because you just tend to say things without really understanding, but Harrison Barnes already knew he was getting traded. As a matter of fact, he had been in trade talks for the last month or so that he was possibly going to get moved. The problem is that it wasn't really publicized, but he's been in trade talks for quite a while. It's just now Mark Cuban decided to pull the trigger. So for you to say that Harrison Barnes has zero idea, what is LeBron hinting right there? He's trying to use now the NBA slave mentality narrative right there. And unless you understand what information is displayed in front of you, you can't just go off of that. Now, what I will say is that LeBron James is not being hypocritical in terms of his entire statement. But in terms of the fact that where he says he had zero idea, that's where he's being hypocritical because he doesn't know that information. Maybe he does, but he probably used it as a chance to once again put himself in front and say how he's speaking for the players and how players need to take control of their situations. I am all for player movement on the companies that you handle it the right way. If you handle it the right way, I am all for player movement. When you don't handle it the right way, that's where you have a different issue. So, anywho, Will Cain is going to talk, and I want you guys to listen to what Will Cain is saying. And I'm going to stop the video at some point to let you know what I think about what he's saying. So without further ado, let's hop right into what he is saying about LeBron James. Take a listen to what he says.
This right here is the Mount Everest of hypocrisy, okay? You can't get any higher. This is the pinnacle. If you climb to the top of the mountain and you get to the top, you find this LeBron James Instagram post right here. This is it. No higher level of hypocrisy than this. LeBron James, as we speak, is trying to trade away the entire Los Angeles Lakers franchise. Everybody is on the block, and if he can get it done today, whether or not, if they had an 11 a.m. game and the Pelicans said, we're ready to do the AD deal, he'd say, fellas, off the court. AD's coming in.
Thank you, sir. You are speaking straight facts, because if Anthony Davis was in a Laker uniform and he got traded, LeBron would have no problem of those guys getting traded. And he would have said, well, it's part of the business. As he said before, those young guys don't know what it's like, and I don't know what it's like to be traded. But, I wish them all the best. This is the same guy that last night, he had a triple-double. He played well. But the other Lakers played well, too. And the biased LeBron fanboys in the comments, once again, continuously make it seem like if LeBron was the one-man wrecking crew that led the charge. Rajon Rondo played well. Kyle Kuzma played well. Brandon Ingram played well. As a matter of fact, The Lakers hit 22 threes as a team. Now, I will say this. LeBron was clutch, and he hit some big threes down the stretch in the fourth quarter. So give LeBron credit. I'm not taking any credit away from LeBron James. It's just these fanboys who keep saying the GOAT was the one who led the charge. Who hit the game-winning shot? Rajon Rondo. See, what you have to understand is the Lakers only won that game by 1 point. And after that one game, Nick Wright and Chris Carter were acting like they actually won a playoff game and everything ride the ship with one game. No, that didn't do anything, okay? That didn't do anything. One game isn't going to fix it. This was the same thing last year in Cleveland. They won a couple of games against Oklahoma City, Boston. People said it was the funeral, and we all know what happened down the line for the rest of the regular season, and we know what happened in the postseason. They didn't win. Will Cain, sorry for the interruption. You may continue, sir.
We know what's going on. And by the way, at the same time, he's trying to get his coach fired. So let's not pretend like this is like the little man against the big men. LeBron, you are the man. You're the man, and you would do this and have done this. You would trade any player, even close friends, move on from close friends and coaches to make your situation better. This is...
Haven't I told y'all this for a long time? That LeBron James is very self-narcissistic. He does not care about anybody but his friends and himself. As long as he puts himself in the position that he's in, he could care less about everybody else. The simple fact that he called Rondo and he said he's the captain of the team, I'm like, but wait a minute. That's hypocritical right there because he was on the trade block and you were undermining this trade. You don't push the buttons on trades because that's Magic and Rob Pelinka's job, but you had a hand in it, LeBron. Besides, the fact that he was standing with Rob Pelinka and Magic Johnson, it tells you LeBron has say-so. So I don't want to hear that LeBron is not making moves. LeBron is not a GM. He has a lot of say-so. So I don't want to hear that nonsense that people saying that LeBron doesn't have a hand in these moves. If LeBron really cared about his team, he works with what he has. That was a great win by the Lakers last night, and I said LeBron deserves credit because he was clutch. All those guys played well. Rajon Rondo, you could say that his shot was lucky or whatever, but once again, he was balling. The other guys were balling. So cut the crap. Will Cain, please continue.
So much hypocrisy, you choke on it. And it's one more thing. It's fake news. It's absolutely irresponsible fake news. If LeBron wants to do what we do and be a pundit and speak on situations going on around the league, then he needs to be informed. I'm sure there are situations where I've been wrong, but I do my best to be informed. LeBron here is telling you untruth. These are falsehoods. Harrison,
no idea.
Hold on, Max.
How are you arriving at this conclusion?
Listen to me. I was almost done. You would have got it. Harrison Barnes, according to his agent, and Paul Pierce mentioned it last night, Harrison Barnes knew the score. He knew what was up. He knew that he could potentially be traded, and it was in the works. He was asked, do you want to play anyway? And he said, I do. I want to play.
That is where the statement is misinformed because, once again, ladies and gentlemen, LeBron says that Harrison Barnes had no idea about the trade, but that's not true. Harrison Barnes was informed by his agent that he had been traded and he asked if he still wanted to play, and Harrison Barnes said yes. Now, am I going to say LeBron's statement is entirely hypocritical? No, because he has a point in what he's saying. But that part where he says that Harrison had zero idea, that was LeBron's way to put himself in the door to say that he's an advocate and he's speaking for the players and that he is, once again, an ambassador to the game. And once again, I am for player movement. I'm just not for it in the way you handle it. You see the Anthony Davis situation. This is why the Pelicans were smart and not trading him and making, pleasing LeBron and the Laker franchise. They hold the cards, and I'm glad that they continuously held them. They're going to say, AD, you want to request a trade? You want to go on in public and request a trade? Okay, we're going to keep you here, and we're not going to give you what you want. So, good move by the Pelicans in terms of that aspect. Once again, had AD handled it much better, we wouldn't be in this situation right now. But because of what it is, that's what he's doing. So he has no choice. Now we're going to see how AD handles his play for the rest of this season. As for the Lakers, one game does not mean that they're going to the NBA Finals, which is what some of these fanboys are doing. One game because they beat Boston. They only beat them by 1 point. I will say this about the Celtics. They have a lot of issues that they need to fix by the time the postseason starts, because I feel like with some of these other trades and the chemistry getting down pat with some of these other teams in the East, Boston might have a big problem by the time with some of these matchups as they get into the second round and possibly the Eastern Conference Finals if they get there. Round 1 is going to be a slight challenge, but these other 2 rounds are going to be it's going to be a dogfight. So the Celtics better get their act together by post All-Star break.
LeBron suggests he was blindsided. LeBron put in his post, zero knowledge. That's not true, Max.
Right.
That's a lie. That's fake news.
What is the big message to take out of what LeBron tweeted? I fail to see the hypocrisy here. What LeBron is talking about is the idea that players can be dealt whenever. And the team does that, and they do what's
I agree with that.
best for the team. This is his point, Will. This is like, come on, some reading comprehension. They do what's best for the team. And by the way, what he's saying is, players, we make business decisions for ourselves too. All he's pointing out is that there doesn't seem to be hue and cry about teams doing what's best for them, but there does seem to be hue and cry about players doing it. Now, you may disagree
It's built
with
upon
that.
a lie. You
What's
have a
the lie?
big...
What's the lie?
It's built upon the lie that the Mavericks were callous and did not tell Harrison Barnes and would do anything in their own self-interest to the detriment of their player. You and LeBron feel like you have a bigger point to make. You're
Right,
building
yes.
it on a lie.
Right now, Max is looking like an idiot, and Will Cain is ethering him right now. Will Cain, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what type of juice you've been sipping, but brother, lately you have been sipping that facts juice and not sipping on LeBron Kool-Aid. Facts only.
Well, it's not a... Well, okay, listen. LeBron saying that Harrison Barnes was blindsided may not be true, although when he became aware of it, if it was a couple days ago or whatever...
It's not may not be true, Max. He was not blindsided. He already knew that he was going to get traded. He was in trade talks. It was just made official on the day that he played. So stop trying to make it seem like if he may be blindsided. He knew he was going to get traded, and he got traded before the game, and he was asked if he was going to play. Max Kellerman made no type of sense. This is what it just proves that he is one of the biggest idiotic LeBron fanboys there is.
Or it was just since the Porzingis trade. That's right. You're going along with your career in one place. All of a sudden, there's a trade goes down, and a week later, you're gone. That happens pretty quickly, right? Maybe he had talks with the franchise that led him to believe that maybe he had a future there. He didn't. That's not the big takeaway here. The
It's of course not,
takeaway
right?
is right. How could you read that LeBron post and not understand the takeaway is
Because
teams
I don't
do
build
what's
truths.
in,
I don't build
teams-
truths upon lies. It's
Teams do what's in their best interest, and it's okay. Just as when players do what's in their...
Max Kellerman makes a very good and interesting point. This is why I said that the NBA is a double standard, because, again, whether you're a player or whether you're a person in the front office, you are going to do what's best for you. People in the organization, if it's in their best interest of the organization and they can trade a player, they can do that. If a player has a right to leave for free agency to sign with another team, they could do that. It just depends on how you handle the situation. If you act like a professional at the end of the day, you move on, whether it was a great time or a bad time in the organization you were in. You have to just show that you're a consummate professional at the end of the day. But I agree with Max. Just like how players are in their best interest, it's the same with the owners. People try to control narratives when things go wrong, but again, everybody is out for their own best interests. So I agree with Max on that.
Best interest, it's okay.
I'm sorry, I want to get Stephen in here. Like this, Max, like when LeBron tweets about the NFL treating its players as commodities and that these owners don't care about their players and they'll trade them away, and then LeBron turns around and treats his own teammates and coaches in the same way, like that.
But that's okay.
Ding!
That means
It wasn't
LeBron's
okay
making-
it wasn't
Look, in
okay
other
with
words,
him when he indicted the NFL owners.
LeBron is now.
If you guys remember what I told you when LeBron had Todd Gurley on his shoulder shop and he was talking about how the NFL owners have a slave mentality? And I said this once again, if players are rich and make money, you cannot be talking about racism or slave mentality because you have no idea about that. You make millions of dollars. You cannot talk about having a slave mentality if you make money. That's, once again, LeBron trying to get these players to try to pull the victim card. And I said, you cannot do that if you're in a position of power, if you have money. This is why LeBron is trying to do his best to campaign to be the best politician available when he is not good at politics himself neither. This is what I said, ladies and gentlemen. And if you go back to my videos on as to why I said I don't respect LeBron James because of controlling narrative. He's even taken it to the NFL with slave owners mentality. This guy has no clue on what he's talking about, and he continues to spit. Because what LeBron James can show me is many times that he's shown, he can talk the talk, but he can't walk the walk.
Bringing in other information. You want to say that he went after the NFL hypocritically? Okay, maybe. Wow. But in this instance, LeBron's doing what's best for him. Another player does what's best for him. Teams do what's best for them. But what he's saying is mainly the players are criticized out of proportion.
I would appreciate it if both of y'all would leave it to Stephen Naismith, okay? I really.
Did this fool just really call himself Stephen Naismith? Brother, at times you speak facts, but a lot of times you talk because you just want to hear yourself talk. Just because you speak loud does not mean you honestly know what the hell you're talking about. So cut it out, Stephen A.
That would help y'all. It really would. This is really an example, and it's basically an illustration of the differences that exist now as opposed to before between team and player relations. The players are mega rich. They're driving their own decisions publicly and privately. We recognize that. This is why it's going to potentially be a serious problem for the National Basketball Association, because y'all are both thinking about it in terms of the league, the NBA, the brand, and the fact that it's in a good place. I know that's what you were thinking in terms of you, Will. It's about the hypocrisy of LeBron James. I'm saying no, it's not about either. What this is about is a whole bunch of small market teams that are outside of New York, that are outside of LA, a cadre of individual owners who are going to raise holy hell. And this is the kind of stuff that's going to come down the pike. You cannot, if you are the National Basketball Association, even though the sport was built on the backs of popular players like Jordan and Magic and Bird, before that, Isaiah Thomas, in between Kobe and Shaq later on, etc., etc. When you have a situation, and you're talking about big time money, when you have a situation where players who are under contract are still in a position to manipulate things and speak up on behalf of themselves or what have you. All I'm saying is, from a league relation perspective.
Manipulation. That's a real nice word you used right there, Stephen A. That's the kind of word that I would describe when it comes to some of these players. In particular, the leader of the Lakerland. Because if that's the perfect word to describe him. He is a manipulator. It's the truth. This is not talking about his basketball, not his basketball game, but what he is a persona in basketball. He is a manipulator. Those are facts. I don't care who gets upset about it. It's the truth.
In terms of the kind of things that they want to get done down the line, even though those marquee players ain't going to suffer, the middle of the road players are going to be made to suffer. Just so the example can be established that we are the league and the players will not run.
That's a good point. But the whole problem doesn't occur until 5.5 years into a guy's career. He has no choice where he played if he wants to keep even most of the money. After 5.5 years, players are going to start to bring leverage to bear. Big deal. I mean, what's the problem?
The problem is that you have a bevy of players who are in the mix, who are close to that 5 years. And so as a result, because of the climate,
they put their time in.
No, I'm saying the climate now is such that a lot of players are going to be causing the problem.
For what it's worth, when Jalen was on, he brought up the same point, that Harrison Barnes was aware that this was going to happen.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the video. Let me know what you guys think on that. So, once again, I thought Will Cain spoke facts. But, once again, people are going to be like, well, he doesn't really know what he's talking about. I'm going to say it again. I thought LeBron's statement mostly was not hypocritical because he did speak some truth. But in terms of the fact that Harrison Barnes had no idea, that is completely false. He knew. He knew by game time. He was already in trade talks, as I said. But anywho, this is your boy Lewis, man, checking with another video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, man. Truly appreciate you guys for taking the time to watch this video. Make sure to share this video. Once again, this is Lewis checking back with another banger. Happy Friday, everyone, and hope you have a blessed afternoon and a wonderful weekend. So once again, bless up, one love, peace, dogs. Thanks for watching.